Today is February 24th, 2022. I wanted to give a quick update on kind of the cybersecurity business impact to regarding the Ukraine-Russia conflict. And a number of people came asking about, what should we do? Is there anything we should be aware of? And I just wanted to put together this quick few slides to discuss this. A lot of this stuff is not my own information. It's gathered from peers. Our peers are constantly in contact with each other to discuss what's going on in a number of groups that we discuss these issues around the country, around the world, actually. And it's a great way to keep in touch. Also, as a member of the CompTIA ISAL, which is Information Security Sharing Group, that we're also in contact with each other to make sure that people are aware of things going on that may not be in the news, may not be public, but we're aware so that we can take action on it to help our customers out. So some initial observations in that we're seeing, that others are seeing, is that ransomware and business email compromise are at higher levels right now. There was a little bit of a lull in the beginning part of the year, likely because Russian state actors were telling their vassal companies to keep a lid on things. That lid is now off. That leash has been loosened, and the attacks have gone up. Business email compromise usually not something that we see from Russian actors. This is what's being told to us by our incident response partners, but usually happens Nigerian scammers, etc., that do business email compromise looking for financial gain. However, we're seeing this go up. So it's very possible that folks are using the ensuing chaos to do these attacks, or they could be sponsored by as a way to attack those outside of the Ukraine. Our incident response people are telling us that extortion amounts are likely going to be going up. So it is important to understand that, again, just to see what's going on. The Russian state-backed groups are just wiping systems. They're not ransoming. They're not doing that. They're just taking systems out. And rebuilding a wiped system, or especially an entire network that goes out like that, is a significant amount of downtime and activity. And we'll discuss that a little bit more in a bit. But that's some of the things that are being done. We've seen this before when Russia attacked the Ukraine in the past. There's always a chance of leakage of these things into the private sector and out of the region. And when Russia attacked Ukraine through a supply chain attack by changing their common used accounting system. So they have a system that's similar to QuickBooks. They were able to get into that company, provide a software update that went out to essentially every business in the Ukraine, and as a result took down large swaths of their economy, including their banking system. Well, one of the things that happened was that any company that was doing business in the Ukraine, including one of the largest shipping companies in the world, Maersk, they were affected and took down basically that shipping company, and most carrier ships stopped working for a period of time until they were able to recover. So these things have a tendency to get out of the four walls of where the conflict is taking place. We're seeing attacks on both sides on websites. These could be sympathetic attackers. It could be nation states, but likely it's very possible that the things that you're going to see on even official websites related to that could be not correct. So be cognizant of that. Take everything with a little bit of a grain of salt. This conflict is going to take some time. This is not going to be a quick get in and out type of thing. Russia is looking at a long haul. Our sources or colleagues are saying that it's likely going to be a couple months, and this is going to potentially then the infrastructure of both the Ukraine and Russia be used to attack those that are potentially sympathetic and to the Ukraine, or have put sanctions on the Russian economy. And as a result, small and medium businesses that are part of critical infrastructure will likely be affected and or targeted, either by some nation states or sympathetic actors. CISA, Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency, put out this Shields Up website a few days back. It goes through some of the information that I'm talking about, as well as what we're actually seeing actively. Although there are no announced credible threats at this time, it's one of those things. It's just do your diligence and ensure that you're aware of what's going on. You can see also the contact information for CISA as well. To continue, we will likely see the chaos be used by other bad actors that will ratchet up their attacks. We're already, about a week ago, the Conti ransomware gang took over one of the largest malware operations this past week, and we'll likely seeing more effects of that. And ultimately, the entire internet infrastructure is at risk of being attacked and taken out. We saw similar things when someone made an incorrect configuration, took out Facebook, or rerouted traffic into Pakistan a few years back. These things can be easily, non-trivially done as well to take out large chunks of the internet. The internet is fairly resilient, but it also has these weak points that can be exploited. So ultimately, without scaring, there are some things that we can do. For example, our team is reviewing all backups and kind of putting an extra eye on them. Even though we don't normally rely on automated reports, we want to make sure that our backups are working properly. That's going to be key for us to be able to recover from anything that should take place, if God forbid it does. If you're doing any of your own backups, make sure that you are taking an offline copy, that you're not just copying it to a USB and leaving the USB connected. You're not copying to a network drive and just leaving it there. Take it offline completely and make sure that you have an offline copy someplace, especially away from your main systems. Keep contacts handy. If you don't have them, reach out to your FBI field office, talk to your insurance agency, make sure that if you're in the financial services, possibly the Secret Service office, the Cyber Fraud Task Force is a great resource for this as well. They're fairly small. The FBI has more resources, but they could also be a good conduit into other parts of the government should you be under some sort of event. Keep your systems up to date. If you are if you're patching your systems yourself, make sure you patch all of the systems. Clients that we manage, we are doing this for you, so you should be okay with that. But make sure your home devices are up to date as well. Keep your security software active and current. If you are a managed client, we already have our security tools and are monitoring them in place. But if you are doing it yourself or you don't have our security tools, make sure that you keep yours up to date. Talk to your peers. This is the best way that we get information, is to keep our community is very open and connected. We're a member of a number of groups, including the CompTIA, number of private security groups, and we keep in contact. So this way we know if something is affecting somebody else, that we're aware of it so that we can take potential action as well. Be mindful of emails, social media, and other text-based messages with links or seemingly credible news stories about what's going on. Go directly to the news sources that you trust, and even there, maybe look at a couple of different versions of it to ensure that you're seeing the right information. There's going to be a lot of disinformation out there. One, it's potentially very distracting. I know if you're from that part of the world, you're probably going to be extra distracted. I know I was during the Armenia war earlier this year. we want to make sure that you stay safe. Try not to get distracted from it. But obviously, if you're concerned, go directly to quality news sources. Don't click on links. There's going to be a ton of more spam than we're normally experiencing that are going to try to phish you, or they're going to try to get you to entice you to click on something to, and it could be even as simple as donations to a Ukrainian relief fund. We see that happen during every event, whether it's a man-made or if it's a natural disaster. The the attack actors will use this to exploit. Hope that helps a little bit. We'll update this as time goes on. If we have an eye on your information and your data and your networks and your systems, and you're also our eyes and ears out in the field. So if you see anything that you think is unusual, please reach out to us. That way we can take action as quickly as possible. Thank you. Have a good night.